there's a good chance that you're building funnels to avoid just talking to humans. I'm going to show you a little shortcut because most coaches, they spend all this time, like months, building video sales letters, retargeting campaigns, email sequences, and all of this tech stuff to do what? Just to start a conversation. So here's the thing. What if you just started a conversation? Okay, I know that sounds really simple and you're thinking like, Dan, I need a system, automations. I got to scale, man. Cool, I get it. But let me tell you a story first of like where I'm coming from, because I spent 3 years knocking on doors and cold calling. Not in 2026, not with AI and all these fancy funnels. When I was in finance, I physically walked up to strangers' homes, I knocked on their doors, and I started conversations. I sat on busy corners of the street handing out water bottles and hot dogs. Why? To get conversations. And do you know what that generated? Doing that generated over $1 million in sales. Why? Because I just did the courageous thing and talked to humans. Now, I'm not saying you go door knocking or do any of this right now in 2026. That'd be insane. But what I am saying is you're making it way harder than it needs to be. You're building these elaborate funnels because it feels safer than just going and talking to a human. So I'm going to give you 2 strategies, simple ones that you can implement today. And the first one is just the free gift DM. All right. So here's how it works. You run an Instagram ad. On the ad, it says, I got this thing. When somebody wants it, they send a DM, and you can have an automation here that gives them the thing. Here you go. And you give a framework, a resource, something that would be valuable for your ideal client. And then the message you send after is, or the automation that goes is just, here's the thing to download. And then after you follow up with, hey, did you get that resource? Hey, cool. What are you working on right now? And that's it. You just start a conversation with someone who raised their hand and said, I'm interested in what you do. Okay. The shortcut isn't building bigger, better, fancier funnels. It's giving away the right stuff to the right people and then just saying hi. Now, the other strategy that works really well is I like to build a school community because I think of the school community like a store. I think of Instagram kind of like the sidewalk. All right. And so when somebody comes into your store, what happens? Normally you say, hey, welcome. Thanks for coming in. What can I help you find today? Right? Most coaches don't even do that. They run ads or they get people into their school community and then they don't greet them, no welcome message. They don't engage in the conversation. So the strategy is you run ads to a free school community, and when people join, you send them a personalized message. Not a bot, not an automation, literally just you. Hey, I saw you joined and I noticed, and perhaps you'd find this helpful. That's it. You're just inviting people to engage with your content and see if you can help. Now, I know what I'm sharing is not rocket science. And you might also be thinking like, but that doesn't scale. I can't message everyone. Cool. You probably don't need to scale. If you're trying to build a lifestyle business, you don't need infinite scale. And I'll show you some math. Now, the reality is if you are a coach or consultant and you're building a lifestyle business that gives you freedom and can make $500,000 a year or $1 million a year, you do not need infinite scale. You need to know what your numbers are. And I can tell you that after looking at over 1,000 different clients and different offers and different pricing, there are like common pricing pieces that if you get right, like it's the most common in the marketplace. And so when I look at the easiest model for a $500,000 business for a coach or consultant who does a little bit of one-on-one work, and we have one intimate high touch offer and you have one scalable offer, a little lower touch, then the model is pretty simple, right? And in this model, you only need 72 people total. Right? So if you charge $1,000 a month to work with someone and you take on 12 clients, which is normally like the most that you would take, that's $12K. And then you have a group option. So you can either work with me one-on-one or you can work with me in the group. One-on-one is 1,000, group is half of that, 500. Then really it's 72 people. So you don't need infinite scale. And that would get you to $42K a month or $500,000 a year. Now, here's the crazy part. If you wanted to go to $1 million a year, you're not adding more people. You're just getting better at your craft so you can charge more, and you charge $2,000 a month or $1,000 a month. And it's still 72 people. It's not infinite scale. So you know if it's 72 clients in total, that means you probably need to have conversations with, let's say, 500 or 1,000 people over the course of a year. That's like 10 or 20 conversations a week. Is that really that hard? Most of you can have 10 conversations a week. Now, the cool part is you don't even have to do those on calls. You can do that by chat. Now, most of you can have 10 or 20 conversations a week. Having the conversations isn't the hard part. You think you don't have time, but it's because you're busy building all of these automations and funnels. If you just stop doing that and have the conversations, you realize it's like way simpler. So I'm going to give you a little cheat code. I'm going to give you a framework because here's the thing. There's only 4 ways to get leads and actually start conversations with people. All right. So the first is campaigns. Those are ads. You spend money to get attention and start conversations. Or you can chat with people. You send DMs, you reach out, you say hi, you start conversations. You can comment on other people's content, which has you be visible and be able to start conversations. Or you create content where people can comment and you can then engage in conversations. That's it. There's only 4. Here's the best part. You can pick your number. A challenge would be, maybe it's $100 a day on ads, or 100 minutes by chatting with people, saying hi, or 100 minutes commenting on other people's and leaving like genuine comments. Or maybe it's creating for 100 minutes a day and creating one good piece of content every day. But if you picked any of those and you spent 100 on any of those every day, you would have more people and more leads than you would ever know what to do with. Okay. Here's where people get stuck though. They think, I need to build a funnel to do all of that, but you don't. The whole point of the funnel is just to get people to talk to you. Now, I'm not saying that you don't need to have systems. I love systems. They're great for scaling, but most coaches spend so much time doing all this stuff to avoid the thing that actually makes you money, which is having conversations with people. So if I was going to be very explicit about this, the only thing that is going to generate more money is conversations, not your fancy funnels, your VSLs, your retargeting, all of that. It's conversations, the number of conversations that you can have. And the fastest way to do it is literally just to say hi, run an ad, give something away, say hi, start chatting with people. That's it. That's the shortcut. And if you're not already making $30,000 a month, then that's as simple as it probably needs to be. Okay. And now you might be thinking like, oh, what do I do, after I say hi? That's great. That's like the next problem. And we have a whole training and we have frameworks on how to have those conversations, how to book calls, or how to sell by chat. And all of that is inside of our free community, the Lifestyle Founders Group. So I will put the link around here in this video. And in that community, we will show you how to become a lifestyle founder, how to get leads every day, applications every week, and clients every month. There is a cadence, there is a system, and it is essentially a simple system that does one thing, that gets you into conversation with your ideal clients. So if you want in, click the link below or comment on here, and I'll see you on the inside.